And we're digging into the arrest of a former Greenville County deputy accused of excessive force. We'll tell you how he's tied to a previous complaint and a deadly shooting. That story first on Fox. The former Greenville County deputy facing several charges just went before a bond judge moments ago, and our cameras were rolling. Ryan Gibson is charged with assault and battery, misconduct, and misconduct in office. SLED was requested to investigate an excessive force complaint from last summer. The judge did issue a $21,000 bond. Now, Gibson's attorney said he's not a flight risk and has no previous criminal history, and asked the judge grant him a PR bond. Now, that didn't happen. The man who filed the excessive force complaint also spoke to the judge at the hearing and said Gibson should be treated like a normal person, not a law enforcement officer, because he did not act like a law enforcement officer on the day in question. We have since learned Gibson is tied to two previous use of force incidents, including a deadly deputy-involved shooting in 2017 and a prior complaint of excessive force. Fox Carolina's Zach Prelutsky live outside the Law Enforcement Center in downtown Greenville with more on what happened leading up to this arrest. Zach?
Yeah, Cody. Well, before working as a deputy for the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Ryan Gibson was a police officer for the Greenville Police Department back from 2014 to 2016. Now, what happened to Benny Jones, the victim in this case last July, is not the first time someone has accused Gibson of using excessive force while on the job.
Benny Jones says he was checking on his friend who was being stopped by Greenville County Sheriff's deputies in July of 2020 outside of his home. He says deputies told him to back away from the car, and as he was walking away, the person who had been stopped by deputies took off running. Instead of chasing that suspect, Jones said one of the deputies, Ryan Gibson, put handcuffs on him. This is how Jones described what happened next when he spoke to Fox Carolina a few weeks after the incident.
And he started beating me in my chest and in my stomach and kneeing me and kicking me and punching me.
Gibson was fired after an internal investigation into the incident, and now SLED has charged him with multiple offenses. But it's not the first time he's been involved in a use of force incident while working in law enforcement. In 2017, Gibson was one of multiple deputies at a motel on Malden Road on an early February morning when a tag on a car came back as stolen. Jason Mendez, who was in that car, would not get out according to deputies at the time.
Get out. I'm going to break it, dude. You better get out. It's your last chance.
Just a few minutes later, a deputy smashed out one of the car windows and shots were fired after deputies say they believed they saw a gun. Mendez was killed in the incident, and Greenville County Sheriff Hobart Lewis confirmed to Fox Carolina that Gibson was the one who fired the shots. The solicitor's office did clear all the deputies involved of any wrongdoing, and they returned to work. Before that, in 2015, Gibson, who at the time worked as a police officer for the Greenville Police Department, was accused of using excessive force. The complaint said Gibson smashed Jaquan Williams' head into the ground, causing him to lose a tooth during an arrest. This is police dashcam video from that night.
Look, man, I'm not messing with you, okay?
The alleged incident resulting in Williams losing a tooth occurred off camera, but then Police Chief Ken Miller told us in 2016 that Gibson maintained he was doing a routine search, and that's when Williams' face hit the ground.
Now, a spokesperson for the city of Greenville tells me that Gibson left the police department voluntarily back in October of 2016. Now, following the incident this past summer involving Jones with the sheriff's office, an investigation was launched and Gibson was fired a short time later by the sheriff's office after they found that he violated excessive force and criminal procedure violations. For now, reporting live in Greenville, Zach Prelutsky, Fox Carolina, the 10 o'clock news.
And you can watch those videos again and read more about this case inside our free Fox Carolina News app.